Yells!
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 80 of Classic Elite. This week we have Dustin, also known as Vogue Nasty. We have the Gooch, who we sometimes call Josh, and I'm Scott, and I'll be hosting this week. So, Josh and Vogue Nasty, what's going on, guys?
Freaking pumped to do this episode.
Nice. What's up, Gooch?
Nothing much, man. I'm excited. Fourth time is a charm, right?
That's right. We have had some technical issues getting ready for the show, which has been fun. We've learned some things today. Not really, but we think Skype is finally cooperating. Gotta love free software. But this week, before we get things going, we have a couple of things to remind you of. One is that don't forget about our Mass Effect 3 giveaway. That's only a few weeks away when that game comes out. So make sure to enter at ClassicElite.com through our little button on the page. You can enter the Rafflecopter thing. And also at Doghouse Systems, you can use the promo code CELITE to get $25 in Jinx Gold. So guys, before we get into the news, we have a really, really big announcement to share with any of our listeners that may not have been following our YouTube channel recently. And it's that we are now officially Yoush directors, which is incredible. Yoush.com is one of the biggest gaming communities in the world, and we were lucky enough to become directors. And what that also means is we're YouTube partners now. Well, that'll come through in a couple of weeks, I think, officially. But slowly but surely, you'll start seeing our podcast on YouTube, which is amazing. So we want to say thank you very much to the Yoush Network team, and also to Big Snacks, the CEO of Yoush.com and founder. So we're really excited to be a part of the community. So if anybody's listening for the first time, especially from Yoush, what's going on? Welcome to Classic Elite, and we hope you guys enjoy. So, the first bullet point that we have here for the news covers something that I'm unfamiliar with. So whoever wrote about Blizzard, why don't you go ahead and take the reins on that one?
That was me. I just read about this earlier today, but I thought it was kind of interesting. I'm going to read what I got here, and I'll explain in a minute.
Okay.
So essentially, Dota and Dota are two different things, sort of. Blizzard has finally filed court documents to challenge Valve's use of the name Dota. That's D-O-T-A. The original name is actually an acronym, comes from a very popular mod from Warcraft 3 called Defense of the Ancients. And one of the original mod developers now works for Valve, and they are working on a game called Dota 2. Totally crazy. And what's even more wild than that is Blizzard is making a game called Blizzard Dota. Yeah, so, and it's weird, like, it's sort of like the acronym stood for Defense of the Ancients, which was the name of the game that came from the mod. They didn't charge anyone money for it. They couldn't. It was a mod of Warcraft 3, so Blizzard doesn't technically own it. Valve doesn't technically own it, even though they have one of the, the creative team members from the mod. And like both companies wants to use the name, and the big question is there a difference between Dota all caps, which is what Blizzard is using, like an acronym, and capital D OTA, like someone's terrible name? In the Valve game, it's just Dota 2. There is no acronym. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just Dota 2. And I know it was really kind of weird that they're now deciding to seek action against Valve over this when they've announced this, I don't know, what was it, last year? And there's like a beta and all this other stuff is going on. And the games are similar gameplay. Like, you can't trademark the gameplay, but they're very different in terms of how they're approaching it, But anyway, that's my super nerdy moment, guys. I'm done. No one cares.
No, I find it pretty interesting, especially because you said the games could have some similar gameplay.
Yeah, it's all that very a lot of people call it MOBA style gameplay, where It's sort of like a strategy game that's really streamlined down into like one major character, your hero, and a bunch of like minor characters that work with you, and it's got this sort of like player versus player MMO aspect where you have abilities and you're fighting other physical players, but you're also, there's like a tower defense aspect to it, and there's loot and equipment and a lot of skill. It's really neat. It's way over my head. I'll never be able to compete or actually play on a team with anyone, but it's a real hot thing right now. I mean, you guys have probably heard of League of Legends and and
Yeah.
Rise of the Immortals. Same kind of gameplay, except now two giant companies, Valve and Blizzard, both want the name that's really, really popular for their game. And they could technically both have it, but it's like, what is the difference? Like, does some guy, if they were both boxed games at Walmart, what would your grandma buy? Dota or Blizzard Dota?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like Frosted Flakes or just Flakes. It's weird.
That's not a good comparison, Gooch.
I know it's terrible. I thought about it. I was like, Frosted Flakes came in my mind. I was like, Frosted Flakes. Blizzard, get it? Frosted Flakes? And then
Other Frosted Flakes?
other
Valve
Frosted
Flakes.
No, it's kind of reminding me of Ghostbusters. Like, I was watching the documentary on the making of Ghostbusters, and Dan Aykroyd had the idea, and they were all kind of running with it, and weren't aware of the Film Nation cartoon Ghostbusters. So, as like production, they've already got $30 million in the budget, so they're running with it. They're making this movie, and they don't even have rights. And you guys remember the scene in Ghostbusters where, and this is why it belongs on a gaming podcast, where they're using the NES Advantage. Oh no, that's number two. Yeah, damn it. But anyways, so during the filming of number one, they ended up, the word got out that like Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd were filming Ghostbusters in New York City, and people started rallying around. And in the movie, there's chants of Ghostbusters going on. Well, that wasn't like scripted or planned. That kind of stuff was just happening because there was a lot of buzz. Those guys were really popular on SNL at the time. So, everyone was going nuts about these guys making a movie in New York City. And one of the stories is like the director, producer goes, "Hey, do you have the copyrights for Ghostbusters yet?" And they're like, "No, not yet." And they just held the phone out to the crowd and they're like, "Well, you better go get them because it's officially the name. There's nothing we could do." Anyways, yeah, to get sidetracked, that kind of reminds me of that a little bit. They had to actually go and verify that they could use the name Ghostbusters. And didn't they come out, weren't they called like the real Ghostbusters in the cartoon or something like that?
Yes.
I think eventually, yeah, weren't they?
Yeah, it was something like that, so.
So your story is way more interesting than mine.
It's only because it's Ghostbusters.
Yeah, damn right.
That's exactly. So, yeah, cool stuff, man. I find any sort of legal naming battle cases really, really interesting. So, sweet, man. And so someone in Taiwan died playing video games, and I heard about that.
Yeah, it was a Taiwanese guy playing League of Legends in an internet cafe. He apparently died of a heart attack brought on by low temperatures, is what they diagnosed. And he was treated for a heart condition before this ever happened. And he kicked off playing a video game and sat there for 9 hours before anyone noticed him.
That's crazy. It's kind of sad. But what kind of location is that could be that cold?
Yeah, I wonder how legitimate that diagnosis is.
Yeah. What I felt like I just heard this on a podcast. Was it Paranerds or?
I'm not sure.
Side Scrollers?
Yeah, they talked about it on Side Scrollers.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. But yeah, how do you? I guess I don't know. How do you just get to that point where you're that cold? I wouldn't think that you could like control the controller. It's an internet cafe, so they weren't using Kinect. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Gooch, I don't know. Maybe you could play Star Wars: The Old Republic until you die.
I don't know about that. I haven't played the game in like a week or two. I couldn't imagine sitting down for the rest of my life. I guarantee I'd hit level cap though. If Finally.
Yeah. Apparently he played for like 23 hours straight, and the lack of movement and the low temperatures, it caused a heart attack, and he didn't make it.
It reminds me of, I hear stories of golfers a lot, being an avid golfer myself, of guys kicking the bucket on the course and saying, other guys saying, man, that's the way to go, being out on the course. I wonder if he was like, yeah, like, I am at peace with this.
He's probably like, no, I can't hit the quick save button.
Yeah. How's he going to sell his account on eBay? Or Craigslist or whatever. So, cool, man. Gooch, you got any thoughts on that?
What a way to go.
Oh, that's nuts. Yeah, I also here on the notes I saw there's a Halo retrospective. I watched the first episode. Dustin, I'm guessing that's from you.
Yeah, I threw that up there.
Yeah, sweet. Did you watch the entire Halo retrospective at Gametrailers?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So is it up to par with everything that they've done?
Yeah, it's the same high quality stuff that they always put out. It was weird because they put out the first episode like months and months ago, and I never saw anything of it again, and then all of a sudden, boom, the whole retrospective is up.
Oh,
So I'm not really sure what happened there, but you can go watch it now if you want to. And there's also a new Pop Fiction up. Are you guys familiar with Pop Fiction?
No, what is that?
Oh, it's awesome. It's like Mythbusters for video games. Like
You told me about that.
Yeah, one of their episodes is can you jump over the pole in Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo?
That's sweet.
They do a bunch of good stuff. There's like I think that's their 20th episode. So
Can you? I gotta know. Can you?
you can.
Awesome.
What was something from the Halo retrospective that like jumped out to you?
I never realized that there was that much of a story to the entire Halo universe.
Yeah, that's
Like
cool.
it's in depth, man. There's like I thought the story was like there's Master Chief and the bad guys and you shoot them and that was it. But no, there's all kinds of stuff.
That's sweet. I love those things. I'll rewatch those retrospectives.
Yeah, I've watched the Castlevania one. I don't know how many times.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you can download them like straight from the site.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that.
I've loaded up retrospectives on my phone to watch while I'm on like the treadmill or elliptical or whatever.
Cool.
You sit there and watch it like it's an episode of TV. Yeah, good stuff. So, what was the new Pop Fiction? I'm sorry.
It was whether or not there was a ghost town in Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh.
And to find it, you have to like do all kinds of. You have to find like the dodo bird or the dodo plane at the airport that barely flies, and it was a really elaborate method to try and find this. And of course, they do it, and then they further expand and look for it in the other games that took place in Liberty City, and it was awesome.
Sweet. What's your favorite new Pop Fiction? Or your favorite Pop Fiction? So if you were to have someone watch one episode to get them hooked on the series, which one would you have me watch?
I liked Golden Island, where there's an island on the dam level of GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And the myth was that if you go through this elaborate string of you have to like play the level on the hardest setting and kill every guard, and the last guard will drop a key, and they go through this entire spiel of how to try and get to it. And if you can't get to it, then there's like a bunch of stuff that you can pick up, and there's like power ups and stuff like that. And they totally investigate, and sometimes a lot like Mythbusters, if the method that is detailed in the myth doesn't work, then they use other means to make sure they can make what it is happen, if that makes any sense. Like
yeah, eventually they blow something up, so like they could
exactly.
Game Genie it to eventually get Mario over the flagpole.
Exactly.
So cool, dude. That's awesome. I thought I was going to get to bed fairly early tonight, but I guess not. Not.
They're pretty bite-sized episodes. I think they're like 5 to 7 minutes long, just depending on which one.
Oh, great. So then I won't be able to stop. I'll rip through all of them. If they were 20-minute chunks, I could pull myself away, but what's 5 more minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
So, very cool. And then next, we also have an article here from, what is it, Video Games Interactive?
Yeah. I saw this. I just want to give the guy credit. Old Game Reviewer. He's a guy I follow on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He tweeted about it, and I followed his link. And it's called Separable Subsurface Scattering, if that's not enough of a mouthful. And there's I followed the link, and it shows a clip of a model, and it looks like a real dude. And it was conjecture of whether or not it would be used. It would be something they would use in the next generation of video game consoles.
Oh, wow. It looks creepy. It reminds me, just the snapshot, I'm not watching the video, like Data, or do you guys remember that weird movie in the 80s where Alan Thicke, I think it was Alan Thicke, made like a cyborg kid that could run real fast?
Come
on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll find the name of it. His name was like Chip or something like that.
Oh, okay. It was a Disney show or movie, right?
Yeah. There was like 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, I remember something about that.
Crap.
Kids Incorporated and all that good stuff.
Oh man, yes, Kids Incorporated was great stuff. I had such a crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt. But anyways, yeah. So this looks like a lifeless, weird thing, like this picture, but it looks like a real person. With just high resolution CGI.
They zoom in during the video, and it has like scars and pores in his face, and like you can see where he's clean shaven, and it's nuts. Yeah,
so I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure if I would really enjoy characters that were that detailed, or that, I guess, maybe that realistic. I really tend to prefer very cartoony or very elaborate stuff. I don't know if I always enjoy when games seem to get more of a real look or real feel. I love better graphics, but I kind of want the cartoons to get more awesome and the colors to get like trippier, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing that I always hate is when I call it the heavy rain effect. They have such great graphics, but then there's no game underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I started seeing pics of Heavy Rain before it came out, and I was like, oh, that looks awesome. And then I realized it was going to be like Indigo Prophecy, and I was like, never mind.
Yeah. So cool. That's very interesting. So we will have a link in our notes to Pop Fiction, to Video Games Interactive, this very realistic bald guy. Also, we will link the story about the man who sat there frozen dead for 9 hours unnoticed. Crazy stuff. What about anything else in the news? We ready to move on to what we've all been playing lately?
I think so. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Sweet. Well, Gooch, what have you been playing lately, man?
Playing a lot of stuff, really. I've been playing Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, really liking the game. Funny story about that, though. I left on my lunch break the day it came out.
Okay.
So Tuesday I'm at work. I decided to leave on my lunch break and go try to find a video game that we've all been talking about for a YouTube series. Couldn't find it. While I was at the GameStop, I'm like, I'm going to buy Kingdoms of Amalur because I'm here and I have a wallet. So I go to the counter and I tell the guy I want it. And, oh, man, the dude that was in front of me was like the nerdiest guy I've ever seen in my life. Probably a really nice guy, but it's one of those dudes where he's there. He looks like he's 40. He's there with his mom. She tells him she's going to JCPenney's and he needs to meet her there when he's done. That was awesome. And I was like, man, what a nerd. And then he bought a copy of, Reckoning.
The game you did?
Yeah, same game I did. But even better than that. So I go back to work and I'm looking at the game, and if it had a manual, if I knew this game had a manual, I would have opened it and looked at it while I was supposed to be working. But I didn't. I stuck it in my desk. I get a text message, I mean, literally like 5 minutes after I get back to my desk, from Tony saying, hey, I'm going to send you a copy of Reckoning. And I'm like, you bastard. I love you. You have bad timing. So I took it back and got something else, but it was just like, I don't know, it was really funny.
That's how it works. What else did you get?
I got Saints Row the Third.
Oh, sweet.
It's the craziest effing game I've ever played. It is so absurd. It's like this combination of like everything you like about GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption in terms of gameplay, but the complete absurdity that you would expect from after playing Saints Row, number 2. The opening to the game, to set some kind of tone for it, is you're robbing a bank dressed as yourself.
Okay.
Like a giant bobblehead mask that you're wearing over top of your face, and you're robbing them. And when you're robbing the bank, people are like, "Hey, can I have your autograph?" and blah blah blah, because you're like famous. You're criminals who are famous and have your own, products, and you sell stuff. Like you're watching a commercial on your phone about a guy drinking a Saints Row energy drink, and it's like one of those really terrible Japanese commercials where it's this black guy in a pimp suit, and he's getting beat up by all these, rough gang members, and then all of a sudden one of those energy drinks flies into his hand from off screen. He drinks it, and then he pulls out all this kung fu, like real, like, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like that kind of stuff, where he kicks someone and they fly like 100 feet away. And then he immediately grabs a basketball and slam dunks it, and then holds up the energy drink, and they're all like, shouting out Japanese. It was amazing.
And that's just in the game?
Yeah,
as a commercial?
Yeah, that's like the first 10 minutes. And then it proceeds to you robbing a bank by pulling a safe out of the wall by helicopter, getting kidnapped, and this is spoiling it too much, going on a plane, then breaking away from that plane and your captors by like parachuting out of the plane.
Okay. And
while you're falling, cars and cargo are falling out of the plane that you have to dodge while shooting other enemies. And then eventually you take off your parachute to fly through the windshield of that same plane to take out a few more bad guys, grabbing another parachute on your way through the windshield out, the cargo exit or whatever, to repeat the process again and eventually land on the ground safely and steal a car.
Oh, there was a movie that came out, not that they like fly like a bike off a cliff and end up free falling into a plane, like a ridiculous James Bond stunt or something like that.
Yeah, see, that's this. That's like the first few minutes of the game, and within like 2 hours, I am doing other crazy stunts. I'm not waiting till the end of the game to get bazookas and rocket launchers. I'm buying them right off the bat.
That's sweet.
I have a giant baseball bat that is a purple dildo. It's amazing. Yeah, it's really terrific. It's pure fun. Like, nothing about it is really outstanding. Like, the visuals are good, but they're not great. The gunplay is good, but it's not great. But I've never laughed so hard and smiled so much and had a game that I had to hide from my son so much as this. I immediately take it out of the Xbox anytime he ever comes over.
Ah, that's funny. Yeah, just in case he accidentally flips it on.
Yeah, because he'll immediately go home and start swearing up a storm, and
then you're toast.
Yeah. Of course, if he's like, "What is that giant purple weapon?" I'm like, "I have no idea."
That's a giant purple weapon.
Yeah, that's a giant purple weapon.
Exactly what it's called.
He's 8. He knows what a wiener looks like, so I'm doomed.
That'd be a great name for a band, Giant Purple Weapon.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
It would. Sweet, man. Well, any other good stuff from Saints Row?
I actually enjoyed a Kanye West song when I was playing the game.
Really?
It did that much. I mean, that alone deserves, Game of the Year recognition. I was playing it, I'm like, yeah, this is great. Like, this is Kanye West. Holy crap. And, I just kept going.
That's awesome. Sweet, man. Well, your last bullet point, we're going to have to hold off because it's going to be a transition for it's not a jukebox break. It's just a jukebox break. Just no guessing, right?
Yeah, I mean you're late on the line.
Yeah, that's right. But you know who it is. We have a really cool song to play for everybody. But Dustin, what have you been up to this week gaming?
Pretty much just playing some Kingdoms of Amalur.
So how
And
do you like it?
it's good. It's really good. Gonna have a review up sometime. I won't commit and get myself in trouble, but there's a lot of comparisons to Skyrim in the way they're kind of legitimate, just in the fact that they're both very Western designed RPGs. But I think Kingdoms of Amalur is really its own entity and does well in kind of defining itself as not like a copy of Skyrim.
That's cool. I was talking to my friend at work, and he said the exact same thing. That it was just being compared to Skyrim, and it's I mean, he described it as it felt like less of just like fetching and questing and stuff like that. That I don't know. It seemed like it felt completely different to him.
It's much less of an open world and more of a focused experience.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I've also heard that it's kind of a prelude to an MMO, but I can't confirm that.
Oh, that's cool. What about you, Goose? Have you got the same thoughts then?
Yeah, totally.
Do you like it?
I like what I've played so far. I'm not that real deep into it, but I can definitely see what Dustin's talking about. It's got all that stuff that could draw comparisons to games like, even Fallout or Oblivion, Skyrim, but it's a much tighter thing, and the combat is so much better, but in a different way. It's so much more God of War, very much more actiony and real satisfying. The one thing I liked a whole lot about the game are the visuals. Like, it's got a really great art style. It's real, like, exaggerated and fantasy and bright and colorful.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna, hold up really well over the years, I think.
Sweet. Very cool. What else you been up to, Dustin?
Not much other than that. Just I had a few things that I wanted to bring up. There was a game coming out. It was on one of Game Informer's cover stories way back when I still subscribed to him. And it was True Crime Hong Kong. Do you guys remember the True Crime games on PlayStation 2?
No, I don't.
There was
Well, maybe
LA and New York. They weren't huge. They were just kind of, do you like Grand Theft Auto 3? Then try this. And they were all right. And there was one coming out set in Hong Kong, and it was canceled. That's what Game Informer reported. But now it's back, and it's known as Sleeping Dogs. So I think they dropped the True Crime moniker altogether.
Interesting.
And they put out a trailer here recently, and it's all live action. It reminded me a lot of Rise to Honor, the Jet Li game for PS2.
Never played it. Couldn't comment on it.
It was really weird. It had this, like all the combat was on the right analog stick. So it was kind of like Geometry Wars, but in a third-person fighting game.
I'm picturing like boxing games. Like I felt like Fight Night was kind of like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty similar, but with more of a action-based camera angle.
That's cool.
Let's see what else. We talked about video games that we were looking forward to in 2012. Was that episode 79?
Yes.
And I mentioned that I was looking forward to. Actually, I don't remember what I mentioned, but one thing that I do remember was Far Cry 3 is coming out this year, or is scheduled to come out this year. And that's a big deal because, one, the trailer is awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, you need to look it up. And Far Cry 2, I thought, was one of the most underrated games that have come out this generation.
Sweet. No, I've never played anything in the Far Cry series.
It was the first Far Cry was set in like a tropical setting, and it had like it was almost like Island of Dr. Moreau, where you ended up with like these animal powers.
Okay.
And it was kind of out there. And Far Cry 2 was actually very realistic and set in Africa and had nothing to do with the first game. But it was kind of an open world, think Grand Theft Auto 3, or a Grand Theft Auto game, but with very little rails. Like a lot of the Grand Theft Auto 4 missions, they would be like, hey, go over here and talk to this guy, and of course he'd try to run, and you'd have to go kill him. And every single part of that mission was very scripted and rigid, and Far Cry 2 was the exact opposite. It was like, hey, go shoot this guy, but you could do it any way you wanted to. And all the guns were realistic. The shooting was realistic. It was awesome. I love Far Cry 2. I can talk about it forever. And lastly, I want to bring up Nintendo Legends retro rule. I guess we could maybe fit that into a question of the week sometime.
Oh yeah, why don't we do that for this week?
Okay.
I'll just save my question for another time.
And his retro rule was that he said that if anything that's a cartridge is a retro game. If I remember correctly, or was it the other way around?
No, that'd be right. That if it's a cartridge, it's retro.
Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty much his general rule, and except for a few exceptions, that's accurate.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't necessarily mean it's not retro if it's not a cartridge. I don't think that's what he's saying at all.
Yeah.
It's just that if you notice a cartridge, it's retro, which is really cool.
It's at the very least made for a retro system.
Yeah, exactly. Like Pure Solar is new, and I'm playing that on a Genesis, so Genesis-ish thing. What do you think, Gooch? You think that's pretty fair?
Yeah. I mean, I was totally thinking Pure Solar, during your guys' discussion, like, that's a new game.
Yeah, my first thought when he said that was DS games.
Because, you know what? I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, because DS games are still cartridges. You could argue. I think that they still are. They're plastic with some sort of like a exposed connection. So,
yeah.
But that's one system, and even Nintendo's going to be moving away from that. So, again, that's only some exceptions, but quite often, I mean, almost 90+% of the time, that's going to be the case, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I see tons of DS games everywhere. I know it sold, millions and millions and millions of games, hundreds of them, but I don't see DS games everywhere. So, I'm sure if I looked, I would. But, yeah, I think that's kind of a cool rule. So, what do you guys think about that? Is that a good general rule? Do you like Nintendo Legends guidelines there? So,
what's his website? Is it nintendolegend.com?
Yep, and his Twitter is Nintendo_legend, and he is one of my favorite people to follow on Twitter.
Yeah, and Facebook. He a lot of his content is, he asks a lot of questions about it on Facebook that you can answer.
Oh, cool. I don't do Facebook, so I'm missing out on that. But that's cool. Well, anything else before I get into a bit of what I've been up to in gaming this week?
Nah, should be good.
Well, I did a few things. I developed a new partnership with a local gaming store, which is exciting. And I also bought some games, which is really, really cool. So I have... I guess I'll bring that up later in the YouTube highlight section, kind of what's on the slate for me. But one thing is I'll be doing a review of Boogerman, which is really exciting. I've never actually seen that game before. So the thing about this partnership that's really cool is it's not GameStop, but it's a gaming store. And the idea is for it to be pretty community driven. So coming up, what I'm going to do is go to some of the fighting game events that they have coming up, and eventually we're going to have some videos that I'll throw together, showing some of the game footage and a little bit of the store, maybe do an interview with the owner or GM, something like that. But it's a local gaming store that's here in Findlay, which is really, really cool. I have somewhere to hang out, buy some retro games, get some information on some stuff. So I'm definitely excited to see how that partnership goes, and hopefully there's going to be some gamers here in Findlay that will be interested in listening to our podcast, guys, or checking out our YouTube channel. So maybe I'll actually get to meet someone face to face that's listened to us before.
You could be YouTube famous.
Yeah. No, they'll actually meet me first and go, "Oh yeah, you do have a YouTube page. That's cool."
That still counts, though, right?
No, not at all.
Oh.
It'll be just interesting information. So, but anyways, the store is called Gamer, which is very appropriate, and be on the lookout for some videos that'll be sponsored by Gamer, and some videos that will be about Gamer, which is pretty cool.
Hey, this is Rooster.
And Kevin from the Paranerds Podcast. And you're listening to the Classic Lead Podcast. Wow!
Party time.
Woohoo!
Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about comes from an email that I got from one of my really good friends growing up, Matt, and he emailed to let me know what Double Fine Productions is up to, and I have to admit I was not familiar with Double Fine Productions, but some of the games that they've produced I have been familiar with. Now, have you guys heard of Double Fine Productions, the gaming developer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you're really familiar because you're a point-and-click gamer, right, Gooch?
I played a little bit of stuff. With them, it's not so much the point and click; it's the like Costume Quest and some of the more recent games that they've done.
Can you tell me a little bit about one of these games? Give me a little bit of background about what you know, either about the game or anything like that.
About the game,
and any of the games that you're familiar with that Double Fine's done.
Well, Costume Quest is it's a role-playing game where the whole theme is based around going trick-or-treating.
Okay.
And what happens is, I'm trying to remember, like maybe it's like your kid's sister or little brother gets kidnapped by the bullies who are like goblins. And if I'm saying this wrong, people are going to correct me right away with nerd rage. But the whole mechanic around it is really cool because when you go into battles in this setting, it's all like pretend. So if you're dressed up like a robot, which is like a cardboard box with, some blue lines drawn on it, when you go into battle, all of a sudden you're not that crappy costume. You're like some giant Voltron-looking monster,
Oh, that's cool.
Or the kid the best one is the kid who is dressed up like French fries, like a McDonald's thing of French fries.
Yeah, did you turn into Frylock?
No, that'd be cool.
Oh.
Even better though, it's like the fry thing is like turned upside down, and the fries come out like legs, and it's like this giant spider monster.
I'm picturing like the South Park episode. When all the South Park guys are make-believing that they're superheroes.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Sweet.
They've also done, I forgot to mention, I just looked it up real quick, like Brutal Legend and Stacking and Iron Brigade.
Oh, Stacking, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they're behind that. It's Tim Schafer. So, I mean, you got that guy who, with Psychonauts in his history and...
Day of Tentacle was the game that my friend Matt had pointed out.
Yeah.
He was like, Day of Tentacle. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm trying to catch up with my gaming knowledge.
So he's definitely been around for a while and, has a great sense of humor and personality. And, when it comes to like an adventure game where the focus is on humor and, story and everything like that, I really trust whatever that guy does.
Sweet. Okay, so here's the reason that we are talking about Double Fine Productions in this manner. They're a major studio, and what they did was they started a Kickstarter campaign to finance the next game they develop, and it's going to be done completely in the public eye. So funded by the public and fans, and also available in the public eye. And how they're doing that is they brought in, Two Player Productions is going to be producing a documentary, essentially, that is going to outline the entire creative process of game development. Now, this is really interesting because this is a major studio to do it. And in the article on Kickstarter that kind of talks about what's going on, it's really insightful about the amount of capital that can be required to get a game going. So it's going to be really exciting to see because it was something insane. Like they needed $400,000 to get this game developed. And I think that within 8 hours they hit their $400,000 goal, and there's a month left, I think, before the project and Kickstarter account is cut off. There's 41,000 people that have backed this game, and $1.4 million has been pledged, which is incredible. So there's an amazing amount of support for this game that's coming out called Double Fine Adventure. You can review the trailer and all that fun stuff at their Kickstarter page, and we'll have a link to it so you can read what's going on. But this is really, really interesting to me because I love the fact that it's a democratic manner for game developers to figure out where they should maybe focus some attention. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys think that this could revolutionize gaming in terms of maybe game developers not caring about used games anymore?
I think it would be great for creativity to come back into the industry instead of Modern Warfare, whatever.
I think it would be really great because with something like Kickstarter, if you could basically pre-order or show your support to a developer, and at a certain level you start to get physical items and physical products directly from the developer, all of a sudden, because developers would be sending out the physical material, I think that there's a chance that they might not care so much about used copies going out. I don't know, maybe just because they know that the people that really want the game will go and purchase it, and it's probably not that likely that somebody's going to, buy a physical copy and then want to turn around and sell it. And if they do, that's not that big of a deal. That would be smaller instances, I think. So do you think that maybe I'm on the right kind of line of thinking that what we were talking about or maybe nervous about last week with this sort of business model could be an irrelevant discussion?
Yeah, I didn't think of it from that aspect, that whoever would donate would definitely be a devoted fan, yeah.
Yeah, and you would get something physical. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to download and you were a downloader, you could. If you were a hardcore fan and wanted the physical disc, you could get it. I don't know. I would love it. And then developers could tailor all the different packages and do some really strong, nice fan service. And I mean, I don't know. This could, now it sucks for certain retailers, but holy smokes. I mean, you want to talk about getting some feedback. Even a little bit of a voting system. It doesn't have to necessarily be always a fan-driven and fan-financed product and project. These are game developing companies. EA can afford to produce their own game, but maybe something with a big contest or something like that would allow feedback from maybe this sort of a perspective. I don't know. It would be really cool to see if this would revolutionize things. And they're making a movie, so we're going to get to see what a big studio looks like when they're trying to make a game, which is really exciting. All right, well, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say. So it'll be interesting to see how this project goes. I can't wait to find out more information. So leading into that, I think it's a good time for a break. We can kind of recharge, get something to drink. And we're going to leave you with a song by an awesome rapper from Texas. His name is Richie Branson. We're going to play a song called Skywalkn. Gooch found this like 10 minutes before we started recording. So how did you find this song?
I'm trying to remember what site I was on. I was at work today, and obviously not working. And I seen a link, and it said something, maybe in Joystick or Kotaku, and it was like, The Old Republic has its first rap album. And I'm like, oh man, I have to bookmark this and look at it later. And it was before we started recording, then I started to look into it, and I wasn't really sure what to expect. I was thinking, yeah, some, guy does a rap song. You hear all this stuff with World of Warcraft, and a lot of games have music. People make some tunes or something.
Yeah.
But the quality and, just everything, the production values for this mixtape is spectacular.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. If you're a Star Wars fan and you don't get some enjoyment out of the lyrics, you're crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah, and there's a song which kind of was the one I liked the most. I didn't send it to you guys, about the class that I actually play in the game, and I got a real special feeling listening to it. I'm like, I get all those references. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's hilarious. I cannot wait to show you guys this song. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Hopefully you will enjoy Richie Branson, Skywalkn.
Richie, I'm in my spaceship. Yeah, I'm in my spaceship. What? Top missing, I call it decapitation. We popping bottles cause this is a celebration. But the fact that we on top, yeah, we finally made it. Pew, pew, taking shots from my lyrical blaster. And I'm killing them faster than the reaction time of a Jedi Master. Richie Branson, he's an evil villainous bastard. Catastrophe on top of his mind and havoc and disaster. Blowing on that Dota, I'm blasting off like Han Solo. Legends never die, so I'm never yelling out YOLO. Tripping up these haters like AT-ATs in Star Wars. We sticking missiles in all the ladies' exhaust ports. Blown on the shoulder, Yoda flies on solo, I'm gone. You never reach the level I'm on. Cause I'm skywalking, I move above clouds, I never come down. Blowing on the shoulder, flies on solo, I'm gone. You never reach the level I'm on. Cause I'm skywalking, I move above clouds, I never touch ground. I'm flyer than your average, jet life maverick. Work on up a airline, there's no other in my cabin, bitch. See just what has happened is, niggas started yapping his mouth about my cloud, like my clouds ain't packing lips. Flying in a land shit, it's smoother than some wagon wheels, but everybody fly, so let me find another adjective. Flip light, felt tight, more player than a damn light. You go to make it to the top, I show you what that ram like. Wanna get ahead, well you gotta fix your brim right. Turn on your swag and kick back for that invite. They try to be close to those of us that's barely in sight, but the children only wish it cause I'm saying they grown men high. Blown on the shoulder, Yoda flies on solo, I'm gone. You never reach the level I'm on. Cause I'm skywalking, I move above clouds, I never come down. Blowing on the shoulder, flies on solo, I'm gone. You never reach the level I'm on. Cause I'm skywalking, I move above clouds, I never turn round. Pull up in that shield, yes sir, Death Star. Evidence that ever since I've been Guessing if the presence isn't enough for you fake I buy you girly skirts, push your bras and makeup. Blowing up old Yoda, so the force is taking over. Now everything's serene, pristine, and clean, my things in order. Mind clear, moves made, time's here, dues paid. When I'm here, you know who paid. These ladies love money more than Cool J. I hope my haters die slow like a screw tape. I hope this blunt burns slow like a screw tape.
All right, guys, and we hope that you enjoyed the awesomeness of Richie Branson as much as we did. And make sure to check out RichieBranson.com. We will have a link in the show notes, of course, and download his stuff. He's got free songs on there to get, and they're all that good. Everything I've heard so far has been fantastic. So, looking forward to finally meeting you. Well, guys, it's time for our new segment, which is our YouTube Spotlight. And this is another time to once again talk about Yoush.com and the Yoush community. Dustin, before you get into talking about what you have, talk a little bit about Yoush, maybe a little bit.
Yoush is a kind of an umbrella channel on YouTube, and they have different channels for They'll have just kind of a one channel for random stuff, one channel dedicated to sports, one channel that's all shooters, first-person shooters. You'll see a lot of Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops, Battlefield videos there. There's also, they actually have a charity channel. So pretty much anything that you could possibly want to watch, you can find it there.
Yeah, and the forums are insanely active. Lots of on-topic gaming discussion and lots of off-topic gaming discussion. There was forums in there. If you need a graphic designer or you need intro videos made, you can go there, get very high quality and professional stuff done for a very good price or free sometimes. And it's just a community of gamers helping each other in gaming and also outside of gaming. It's awesome. I don't know. I love it. So
Also highly regulated, so there's not going to be any trolling or people acting stupid on there. So if you want some mature, active community, then definitely Yoush forums are there, the place to go.
yeah, absolutely. So Gooch, you got anything to add? Did we forget anything, man?
I don't think so. I mean,
think we know
Yoush is
that pretty
awesome. We're part of Yoush. We're awesome. Everybody wins.
But yeah, I mean, seriously, we are gushing over it. I can't get over it. So, being the Yoush director is going to be awesome for our channel. So, Dustin, let's talk about some of the stuff that you have been involved with on our channel.
Alrighty. First off, we got our Yoush intro vid. You can go to that video. It'll give you a link to both ClassicLead.com and the Yoush YouTube channel. And it's we are speaking over some footage of Kingdoms of Amalur. So if you're curious at all about how that game looks, go ahead and check that out. It's me playing on PC. I recently finished a review of a game called Zack Zero, which was given to us by Crocodile Entertainment, and it is a 2D side-scrolling game, and I loved it. So go check it out. And
Now, Zack Zero is a game that I was asking you about, remember, last week. And,
Yeah.
dude, the review makes me really wish I had a PlayStation, because that's only PSN, right?
PSN exclusive.
Yeah. Oh, man. It reminded me almost a little bit, like, level design-wise, of how parts of Missplosion Man were set up.
Right, yeah.
Without, like, kind of like the double jump. But there'd be times where you'd be platforming and shimmying up almost a chimney, if you will. You know what I mean? Where you're kind of jumping on ledges and whatnot. So, yeah, the Zack Zero game looked really, really cool.
Yeah, I saw that the creator was heavily influenced by 8 and 16-bit games, and playing it feels like it. I don't really understand how they did it, because I don't point anything out specifically as like, oh, that's like Mega Man, or that's like DuckTales or something like that.
Yeah.
But playing it feels like one of those old games, and it's awesome.
Cool. How much is it?
I think it is $13.
$13 bucks?
$12.99 on PSN, I think.
Nice. And what would you say, honest to God, would you buy it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, sweet. That's
Yeah,
very
it's awesome.
well, sweet. We'll have to definitely make sure to have a link in there for the review. Good deal, man.
Also on our YouTube page, we have our Mass Effect 3 giveaway. It is any platform, so if you want PC version, just ask for it if you win.
Yeah.
360, PS3, it doesn't matter. We are doing a giveaway, and check that video out for details. And
We're up to what, about 250, I think you said, entrants right now?
yeah, just under.
Wow, that's great.
I did a review of Puddle, which is a physics-based puzzle game, and that's about all the time I want to speak about that, because it wasn't that fun. Tony just finished and put up his Final Fantasy 13-2 review.
Yeah, it was
And
good.
yeah, it was very good. Also on our Hapog Gaming Zone channel, you can hit that up and you can see some. Let's see. Recently we put up, or not we. I'm not sure. One of our contributors put up 007 Reloaded gaming tips. Someone put up some footage of the Halo anniversary. Tony just finished and put up Hapog Gaming Zone Live. It's where he kind of takes the time and go over some news that's been happening around the industry. He also he throws in a little bit of gameplay just to show off the Hauppauge equipment.
Cool.
And lastly, Burnout Paradise City. I put up some video of that just to show how well it transfers using the the speed of Burnout plus the high quality high definition graphics.
Sweet, nice. Yeah, you've been definitely the champion and the crux of the YouTube channel recently because you've got all the content going up, man. It's much appreciated.
Oh yeah.
And I'm planning on doing some stuff. Gamer, the local gaming store that I just mentioned, they did provide me with a borrowed copy to do Booger Man. And they have a really awesome retro collection and rare retro collection. Like Earthbound, for example, very good qualities of Chrono Trigger, some very, very cool stuff. And they're going to allow me to borrow some really rare titles. So keep an eye out. We're going to try to be doing some really rare gaming reviews, which will be really exciting. And I know Booger Man is not the rarest game in the world, but it's not the most common either. So I thought it was a good starting point. And I also was really interested to play it. I'm a little disappointed, though. I'm not going to lie. Probably because I also picked up recently Super Adventure Island, which I love that game. I like the gameplay of that a little better. And I also will be doing a review of Sunset Riders, which is one of my favorite side-scrolling games. And it doesn't get the love it deserves, and it's amazing. Good music, graphics, and all that. And I've never owned it for the SNES, and that's what I bought. So I'll be doing a Super Nintendo review. And I grew up playing the Genesis version, and there are differences. So keep an eye out, and I'll do maybe a little bit of a comparison between the two games. So I've got those videos coming out, and eventually Pure Solar, but I'll be focusing on retro stuff, which is really cool. But that's pretty much it for me. And Gooch, you got something up this week, right?
Yeah. I finally got off my lazy keister and put out a video for The Simpsons Arcade, the amazing game from our youth. 4-player arcade, left to right, punch stuff action. You can watch the video. I really liked it.
It goes like way back in the day. Like honestly though, I didn't play Simpsons Arcade nearly as much as I played a Simpsons pinball machine. My beat 'em up was definitely Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Simpsons, but I loved this game. I absolutely did.
Yeah, it was I still think it's a really, a good game in terms of, a beat 'em up from 1991. It holds the test of time, fairly well.
Yeah. I'd like to see a Turtles in Time reshelled, kind of a rehaul, or maybe like a WiiWare version of a Simpsons kind of beat 'em up. I'd love to see, a high resolution, updated game. The Simpsons hasn't gotten a lot of love from the gaming development community. A lot of the Simpsons games aren't very good, so I'd like to see some because I'm not an avid Simpsons fan, but I really, I'm a fan, so it'd be cool to have a cool Simpsons game. So yeah, what about you, Gooch? You got anything coming up that you want to give people a heads up about, or am I throwing you under the bus here?
No, you're good. You're good. I've got a few things that I'm working on, but nothing too definitive. But I will say Postal 3 is coming, and be warned, I don't really know what I'm going to say about it, but I'm doing a video, so there you go.
Good deal. So, all right, well, I think that's it for our YouTube updates. This is the really good time for us to throw this into the show with the Yoush thing happening. But, a very cool segment, and we're excited to have people that are listening to go check out our YouTube channel and give us any feedback over there on things you'd like to see. You guys ready for some comments? Or comment?
Yeah. Bring on the comment.
Bring on the comment. All right. 1, 2, 3, nut it.
I'll do it.
All right.
I didn't know we were doing that, so like the game.
British Steel left us a comment on episode 79. He said, I agree that the Wii U could potentially be a big bust, but at the same time, I felt the exact same way when the Nintendo Revolution, in quotes, was announced with its nunchuck-style controllers, and sure enough, it was a total flop. Right? Technically, with the hardcore market, it was.
Yeah.
One announced game I have full confidence in is Resident Evil 6. That trailer melted my face off, and rightly so. Have you guys seen that?
No, but my buddy Matt that emailed me about Double Fine Adventures said that he's been distracted because Resident Evil 6 has him so excited.
Yeah, part of it happens in a town called Twin Oaks, I think, and it brings back proper zombies.
That's cool.
Not like the infectees, but
I never got into this series. I'm just really surprised by this massive amount of enthusiasm. I knew that it was a popular game, but geez, I mean, this series is bigger than I thought, or more popular than I thought. I thought it was more niche.
Yeah. I think it was Resident Evil 4 that really broke it out of its. It was kind of a niche product until 4, and then it went action-oriented, and everybody kind of got into it at that point.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Cool. Sorry, I interrupted another British Steel comment.
Oh, no, it's all good. I'm sure he's used to it by now.
Yeah, he does still write in, so he's forgiving.
I sincerely doubt, this is him continuing, I sincerely doubt Microsoft will implement a no-used game policy, and if they do, it will kill them. As much as I hate GameStop, they will be totally alienated and butthurt by this. If you do that to such a big company or the tons of small businesses in game trade, you're begging for disaster. I agree.
Yep.
Remember how Sega angered so many developers and retailers with the premature launch of the Saturn? Also, remember why there wasn't much third-party support for the Dreamcast? Finally, keep up with the great music.
Ooh, I hope that you approve, British Steel. I really, really thought Richie was awesome regarding the music. So, I you know what? I think he's right, because it's so common sense to not do that.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I've heard lots of other podcasts that have talked about it, and everyone's like, yeah, this is the rumor, and everyone's like, they can't be that stupid. So there's got to be no legs to it. GameStop
makes billions a year? There's no way that they could just say, "Yeah, we don't want your business anymore." Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that. Sweet, very, very cool. Well, that's going to conclude episode 80 of Classic Leap. British Steel, thank you very much for writing in. And any of the people that we used to hear from a lot, Balzac, we miss you, man. C-Bomb, we miss you. Feel free to write in, guys, and let us know what you think. Do you agree with Nintendo Legend? If it's a cart, is it retro? And do you think that Kickstarter or that sort of business model is something that could really revolutionize gaming, especially from the developer side? If so, let us know at classicleap@gmail.com. And just want to wrap up the show by saying what's up to partners of the show. Doghouse Systems, Gamersgate, Aver Media, big shout out to Hapog as well. Glitched Out is still in the middle of the facelift that we've mentioned the last couple of weeks, but much of our content's going to be going up there. J2 Games, as always, got game on live. Yoush.com. You have to sign up on the Yoush forums if you want to interact with us really regularly. We're going to be really active on those forums. So listen to the Retro League, listen to the Para Nerds, and I think that's going to conclude episode 80. Do you see like a fan or anything around you that would be blowing air on the mic?
Mm-mm.
You do?
I do not. Let me see what's going on here.
Oh! I do not want. Go the other way. I don't want you to do that. Like, I'll show you a fan on the mic, you asshole.